The narrower you go, the easier it is to find that person. I want to have fun. I want to share, teach, learn. I don't mind failing, but I'll never stay down. What you see in me, you can only see because it's you. Who has a cocktail? Anybody drinking a glass of wine? Scotch? Beer? Who's got water? What are you having, Leonardo? Tell me in the chat. It looks like a little scotch, possibly. Scotch. Okay, there you go. I can see. I know my scotches. Maria Angelica, what are you having? Who's having a cocktail? I want to know. I want to know what you're having. Lemonade, tea, Malibu Black, champagne. There we go. Water. Okay. Yeah, who's having vodka? Some of you pretend you're drinking water, but I know you're drinking vodka. Pellegrino, red wine. There we go. Okay, there we go. Thanks for being real. It's okay. It's okay if you're having a cocktail. Water's good too. Water to wine. We're good. All right, who's next, Carolyn?
All right, we were able to get Emma up, so I wanted to not skip her.
Thank you.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, John. How are you?
Amazing. Where are you from? What do you do so everybody gets to know you?
I'm in Charlotte. I'm a nurse, and I do elder care planning and home care for the older adults.
Wonderful.
And she just joined Winning the Game of Business.
Welcome.
Woo!
Awesome. Look forward to helping you.
The reason that I joined is because I want to see home care is mostly advertised from a different perspective. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to advertise my business online and not go small, but go big.
Yeah, okay. So is that the question you want from me right now?
Yes. Is it?
I mean, it's a long question. I would have to ask you a lot of different questions based on, let me give you an example. How much money do you have to invest in building the brand? And do you want to do it locally, regionally, nationally, or internationally? Okay, so first we have to see what's the goal, and then what are the resources that we're dealing with. Okay. Right.
Well, if you don't have the time today, we can certainly, since I do have the program.
Well, I don't have 10 minutes to go into it, and it's longer than a quick answer about your business, right?
Yeah.
But what I want you to focus on is where are you located? North Carolina, you said? I'm in
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte.
See, the thing is, the question is, home care has always been something that's local. But since I am providing elder care planning as my service instead of just home care, it is something that I can provide national. So I want to be able to make a big brand and scale it.
Got it. So this is new for you though, right?
Home care? I do home care currently.
Yeah, but home care planning.
Yeah. A home care, elder care planning would be new for me, yes.
Okay, so here's what I would like you to do. I want you to set a big vision for, let's say, 3 years from now, a year from now. And what I want you to do is say to yourself this: let me build my systems and processes and curriculum right here locally. Let me sell it, test it, deliver it, manage it, iterate it until I have a really good, unique branded system. Once you have a unique branded system, I call this figure out your unit of one first. Your unit of one first means, what would it be like for one elder care planning from soup to nuts? Create that. Get somebody that you can help in your local marketplace, then get 3 people and 5 people and 10 people. Tweak it. Once you have a system, now you can expand it. Now, once you have a system, you're making money. Once you're making money, you can get money for expansion. Once you get money for expansion, you can choose, do I want to certify other people who want to do what I just learned how to do, for 1, 5, 10, 20 people. So now you have a variety of different avenues on how to create leverage.
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
So I'm okay with the big vision, but before we have a big vision, we have to also create, or as we have a big vision, we also have to create my unit of one that makes sense and runs and works.
Yes, so that's why I joined your program, because I want to build a system.
There you go.
I want to have
show you how
that
to do that.
system for that
Perfect.
marketing system. Yes.
Perfect. Everybody get what we did here, right? It's okay to dream big, but you have to come back to reality and ask yourself, what are the first things I need to do? And what she needs to do is develop her unique branded system that then she can go and sell, then she can prove it, she can tweak it, and then she can expand it. All right, Carolyn, I'll let you keep rolling.
Absolutely. All right, we've got 23 hands raised, so let's keep going. Miss Shannon, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hey, John, how are
Hi,
you?
Shannon. Shannon, do you recognize this office?
Yeah, I sure do.
All right. Shannon is one of my new private clients, and we just had our first private training or coaching here in this office a couple of weeks ago.
Nice. Anyway, the thing is about, you're always showing before and after pictures, like you always, show your before picture and then your after picture with your six-pack. And I'm looking now because I have personally seen John's after picture of his wife texting him, "I love you." I'd like to know what the before was. Tell us about before, like how did you meet her, and how, and how is this relationship so much better than the prior two that you've been in?
Sure. So thanks for asking. By the way, how's our coaching consulting going?
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
And
It
how
is
much?
so awesome. I can't wait till the next one, because I got a lot to share with you about the changes that have happened in my company.
I love it.
Blowing up overnight.
I love it. Some people ask why somebody like Shannon would invest $100,000 in coaching. And when you see the results she's getting, you'll say, wow, I'd gladly invest that too. Now let's go to the relationship. So when I was younger, I grew up in a household where I had a very misogynistic father, very kind, loving mother, both uneducated, both got married very, very young. Not happily married. They were married because they were young. My mother got pregnant and they had 3 kids, and they didn't want to get divorced while they had kids. And so I learned, if something wasn't what I liked, my modus operandi was F it, I'm out of here, or F it, you're out of here. And so my first marriage, wonderful gal. I had moved from Toronto to Indianapolis. She couldn't work in Indianapolis. She was going back and forth. And we got married out of her basically saying to me, if we don't get married, we're going to end the relationship. And so I said, well, let's get married. Within a year, we were divorced. Met a gal at a local restaurant. We dated for a bunch of months. She got pregnant, and I didn't want to have a child, but I didn't want to have a child out of wedlock. So again, I made a decision to get married, and then we were polar flipping opposites once we lived together. We had our first son, Keenan, who's 27 now, and wonderful little boy. We separated. We got together one time 6 months later. We hadn't been intimate for 6 months. We got together one night for a glass of wine, just to chit chat. Got pregnant again. Obviously, we were intimate. So we said, well, let's keep trying to make this work. And we tried to make it work for about 2.5 years. And then we realized we're not supposed to be married. We went to counseling and counseling and counseling and counseling. And then we just realized, let's raise our children together. So we moved from Vancouver, where Noah was born, my 27-year-old, to LA, where she wanted to pursue an acting career. While we were going through counseling, wasn't working out. I said, why don't we move to San Diego? Let's raise our kids together. And we've lived happily ever after. Now, what are the differences? I really didn't know how to communicate how I was feeling. I didn't know radical honesty about my feelings. I didn't understand that there was really another person in the relationship that had a valid opinion. So I had a really, not a really good frame for a relationship. I had great business partnerships, but my relationship modalities of understanding was, I'm the guy, you're the gal, I do this, you do that, and that was my father. And after the second divorce, I realized that I was at the scene of both those crimes. And so I had to step back. And I'll never forget this. One time, Maria and I were dating, and there was something that happened that I didn't like. And I said, fuck this, I'm out of here. And she said, fine, you can be out of here, but let me ask you one question. I said, what? She goes, why is it every time we have a disagreement or an argument, the relationship is on the line? And I go, because isn't that what's supposed to happen? She goes, no, we can have an argument, disagree, agree or disagree, but we can keep the relationship. That was the first aha that I had, that if you didn't like the way things were, you didn't just leave. That's what my dad did.
That was Chandler Bing in Friends. You are Chandler Bing in Friends, because he couldn't understand having a relationship past an argument.
Well, neither did I. Didn't understand it either. And my wife, came from a family where her mother and father, were married for 35, 40 years before, or 50 years before he died. And they had a phenomenal relationship. She lives with us now. And so Maria taught me about a relationship with, with a couple, and what that's supposed to be like. So I had to re-educate myself on what is that supposed to be like. And we have had the most magical, phenomenal 22 years together, because we have a partnership in life and we have an understanding, and she doesn't meditate with me every morning. She will do her vision board once every 2 or 3 years. She doesn't, but by the way, when she had surgery, she started to visualize, she was meditating, she did all of that stuff because she knew that it works, but she doesn't have to. We have independent and interdependent lives. When I go out of town,
Nice.
or she goes out of town, we do our own thing. And when we're together, we were just in Spain for a month together, loving on each other, exploring Spain. So we have a phenomenal relationship of understanding and trust and respect. And there's one other thing I'll share with all of you that have a relationship that is a game changer for us. Many years ago, when I was divorced, we had my home and we had my former wife's home. And the rules in our house was different than the rules in my former wife's home. And I was having a hard time with that. That was creating some tension, because I'd have my kids for 2 weeks. They'd go over there for 2 weeks. And I'd see them almost every other day anyway, because we lived very, very close. But we were having some tension around the schedules and some of the habits that were allowed in her house versus our house. So Maria and I went to counseling, and this guy, David, who was our relationship counselor, said to us, do you guys get together every week and talk about everything to do with whether it's the kids, health, money, sex, whatever the case is? And we said, what do you mean? He said, I often suggest to couples to have a session once a week. One couple member takes control 1 week, the other one takes control the next week. And basically you go down a list of, how's your health? How are you feeling? What's going on with the finances? Are you getting the sexual needs that you have met? Are you happy? Is there anything that happened during the week that I need to know about? What's going on with the kids, the wife, the family, the this? Every week we go through health, wealth, relationships, career, business, finances. Every week we just sit down on Saturday mornings and we have this conversation as partners to check and balance to make sure everything is okay. And that has been a game changer, for us for many, 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 many years. It's been a game changer for the couples that have applied this in their lives, because you have at least one. We have dinner every single night that I'm in town together, just about 22 years of every single night. When the kids are around, we have dinner with them. So we take care of family. But she and I have built a process for each other to always feel loved, always feel heard. In the morning when I wake up, which is before her, I get her lemon water or celery juice ready. When she wakes up, she creates my love bowl, and I get an organic salad every day so that it's ready for me when I want to eat. So we deliberately communicate, talk, plan, understand each other's love languages, and our communication language, because first and foremost, I can't afford another divorce. That's number one. I just can't afford it. But number two, and I mean emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, even more so than financially. But number two, I had to learn how to have a great relationship. And she became one of my best mentors ever. So there's the whole
Nice.
story of kind of like what we do. And by the way, this might be a little bit intimate for some of you, but something that really, really helps is, I mean, we have sex almost every day. Almost on Monday, almost on Tuesday, almost on Wednesday, almost on Thursday. Now you're getting to see the funny side of me. And I have to open up the window because I'm getting warm. I'm going to turn on the air conditioning. Hold on. Now that's become one of my favorite little jokes that all you guys and gals could use wherever you like. The secret is having sex almost every day. It always gets laughs, okay? So I'm using it wherever I can. By the way, if you haven't figured out, I can be extremely serious and I can have a whole lot of fun when I can combine both. That's even better.
The
All right,
chat
here's the
went
next.
wild.
Thank you, Kevin.
The chat went wild in that moment. I couldn't keep up. Alrighty, Chandler. I mean, John. Let's go to our next
Chanda.
question.
By the way, when I was dating Maria, I guess what's the show? Was it Friends or what? No, I don't think it's Friends. Who was Mr. Big?
Oh, Sex in the City.
Sex in the City. So Maria was watching a lot of Sex in the City with her girlfriends, and I was Mr. Big in the relationship for a while. And just a little bit of humor. I used to thought they were calling me that for a different reason, and it was not for that. So nope, not that. Keeping it real. I'm going to try everything to make you laugh and have fun. Okay. All right. Who's
All
next?
right, John. Let's move to a new question.
I'm 6'1", 197 pounds. A lot of people, when they first meet me, they go, "Oh, you're much taller than we thought." I used to be 6'2", believe it or not, but I think I've shrunk. Anybody else here shrink as they're getting older? I was like 6'2". What the hell happened? I went to the doctor earlier this year. He says, "You're 6'1". I said, "What? He's supposed to lose height?" I lost, my goodness.
Good thing you have some extra height inches to spare, right?
Yeah.
All right. Tatiana, you are up next.
Hi, Tatiana.
Hi. Oh my God, I'm super excited.
Thanks. Where are you from? What do you do?
So I currently live in Washington, D.C., and I just recently started my nutrition coaching business.
Nice.
And
by the way, Janaki Maria is 4'7" and 90 pounds. That's my wife's 4'7". I'm 6'1". All right. So Tatiana, nutritional coaching. Great.
Yeah, so I started it because I got inspired for her reason. So I have polycystic kidney disease, no cure for it. It's a genetic disease. And I learned a lot. And I'm going through pretty much what you just described, trying to find alternative ways, trying to give myself the tools to manage this disease and function in life without the doctors and all of that, because I don't have the answers.
Connect with Priya in this community right now. Priya, she's a kidney specialist.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that inspired me just to, because I know a lot of people who don't even have a genetic disease that don't eat well and create themselves complications and problems for themselves. So I was like, okay, we need solutions. The hospitals can't do everything. We have the tools in our hands, and no one is putting the word out there. No one is helping people. No one, I just want to be part of the solution. Let's put it that way. And one of the biggest challenges I've faced, and I've worked through some of it, that phase I wanted to ask is someone who's gone through some health issues yourself, is how do you juggle? Because that's, for me, I went from being this super active, super multitask, like that's just my personality. I had probably a borderline ADHD. And from not being able to wake up sometimes in the morning and having a to-do list big as this and just pushing through. And I have a strong willpower. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's just rough. And I'm always curious to hear from people that have made it. How did you juggle that critical phase to get to a point, you got to the point where things got, sort of balance and more control?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I hear it often in different areas, and that's there are a couple of things that I'm always going to come back to, and that is number one, meditation and mindfulness training. Meditation and mindfulness trainer works at the core nucleus of your essence and being. So by learning to be mindful, being aware of your thoughts, emotions, feelings, sensations, and behaviors, and of course, to be aware of your environment, there's something called interoception, knowing how your internal body is responding to outside or inside stimuli, but also exteroception, being aware of what's happening out there is where it begins, because the awareness is what gives you choice, and the choice gives you freedom. Part one. Let me go to part two. Every one of us has 100 things to do. A few for health, spiritual health, emotional health, mental health, physical health, family, children, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, business, career, this project, that project. Does that sound accurate for everybody?
Yeah.
So here's the question that really comes to me. And this is, there's a program that I have in one of my other coaching programs called How to Get More Done in Less Time. And so the way that I manage all the stuff is I ask myself a question every single day, every single week, and every single month. And the question for the day is, what are the 3 most impactful activities that I must get done today? Now, that comes after my daily rituals. So my daily rituals, when I wake up, I do my meditation first. Why? Because that connects me to the source of all supply and connects me with me. And I get centered with me first. Then I do my innercises. So a meditation and then innercise. Okay, back to back. Then I go and exercise. Then I go and have my smoothie, which is a power smoothie. And then I go and shower, get dressed, and I'm in my office for my meeting with my executive assistant at 8:30 every day. Why 8:30 every day? Because we take from 8:30 to 9 o'clock to make sure that our priorities are aligned. Here's the appointments for the day. Here's what's going to get done for the day, for me and for her. Now, I have a plan to implement. So where do I choose the things to implement? Well, it's based on my vision and my goals for health, wealth, relationships, career, business, right? Fun and experiences and contribution, right? So I'm looking to manage my activities versus managing time, which nobody can do. So I've gotten very, very good at doing and teaching event management versus time management. So if I was to say to you, based on your highest values, what is your number one value that you need to take care of every day?
Okay.
What is it?
For me, it's in the morning.
What's your number one value? Tell me your values.
My values, family.
Family, okay. So family. Do you have your family in your schedule every day, every week, every month?
No.
Good. Then you're not living your values because your beliefs are overriding your values. Let me share something with you that might make some sense. Number one, is your health really important to you?
Yes.
Like, is it, if you're not healthy, can you take care of your family?
No.
Great. So your health has to go first, right?
Yes.
Great. So do you know how to keep yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy?
I would say no.
Great. So here's what I would like you to consider. If your health really is one of your highest values, you need to learn how to get aligned with your highest values and get that on your calendar every day. Next, if your family is your second highest value or third, then when are they going in your calendar every day? Whether it's a phone call, whether it's time for tea or coffee, a hug, a 5-minute conversation, get in your calendar every day. What's your third highest value?
My work, my business.
Okay, well, that's not a value. That's what you do.
I get value from what I do, if I could put it that way, helping
is
people.
that because of your contribution?
Yeah.
Right, so contribution can be one of your values, and the way you do that is through your work. Get that into your calendar every day, but not before health and family. When your values are out of alignment, you and I are stressed. When we are stressed, we create inflammation. We release cortisol. We break down the systems, and then we have dis-ease for too long, which activates autoimmune disorders and activates everything else that may be happening around you. So if you get yourself in a state of at ease with your highest values, so you feel, I'm taking care of my health, I'm taking care of my family, I'm contributing, I'm having fun, I'm creating the experiences that I want. Now we're creating the alignment. And guess what? Everybody, you've heard this before. There isn't a human being alive, okay, that has said, I should have spent more time working.
That's very true.
Right? So here's what I have learned how to do. I've learned how to be, before I say this, I'm going to share something with all of you that may be a wake-up call for some of you. I'm going to ask you a question first, give you the lesson second. How many of you think that maybe you lack a little bit of self-discipline?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me just see in the chat. How many of you lack a little bit of self-discipline? I'm going to maybe shock some of you. None of you lack any self-discipline. None of you lack any self-discipline. You are 100% self-disciplined to your current habits. You are 100% self-disciplined to your current habits. Why? Do you remember we taught about the brain in the last 5 days, 6 days?
Yeah.
Conservation of energy. You just keep repeating the same patterns over and over and over again. So you're not lacking self-discipline, you're lacking the right structure to create empowering environments outside and inside of you so that you thrive. By the way, if you think this Winning Game of Business program is about business, think again. So when, Tatiana, you align your values with the right beliefs, behaviors follow. Let me repeat. When you align your values with your beliefs that are empowering, constructive, and positive, you are empowered to achieve 10x, 100x. Okay? So, Tatiana, I hope that helps your question.
Just as always, this was amazing and really, really, really eye-opening. Thank you so much.
And sometimes I'll take a little bit longer to answer these questions because I can get a bunch of lessons in here about life and business and spirituality or whatever it is, because it's all interconnected. Like people say, no, you need to separate your life from your business. How? How the heck do you do that? Like, I love what I do. Like when I have time off, I want to read about it. I want to talk about it. Of course I have time off and I go skiing and I go doing this and I do that with my kids, but I love personal development. I love, helping people. I love growing. So like, I don't want to stop doing it. All right. Who is next, Carolyn?
All right, John, before we go to the next thing, I'm actually going to spotlight myself for a second. Everyone listen to me for a second. Yes, this is being recorded, and yes, we will send it to you. That is the most common question we're getting. I want everyone to know, yes, you will get it. All right.
Thank
so
you,
I'm going
Carolyn.
to remove my spotlight. Hopefully that was memorable enough so you all know. All right.
I have a question to ask. I want to have a question to ask a specific group of people. There are a few of you, I can see your names, that are in our programs. You've been on these happy hour sessions with me. You don't need to be. Why are you here? Like, why are you here? Why are you taking your evening? Why are you here? Like, I didn't ask you to be here. Why are you here? And I don't mind that you're here, but like, why are you here? Your first time chanting? Okay, why are you here? I inspire you? Okay. Pick up the nuggets. Thank you, Sandra. I'm just like wondering, like, why? It's evening time. I can see, new people, but why is everybody else here? Yeah, repetition is the mother of learning and skill, right? Feel inspired, recharge. Oh, good. Okay, encouraging. Awesome. I just wonder, like, I'm a student, right? And so I know that repetition is the mother of learning. And so people ask me, why do you read a book 3 or 4 times? I was like, because reading a book doesn't mean you know the book. Why do you record stuff that you read in a book and listen to it? So I can make it part of my ethos. So, okay, great. You're committed. I love it. You like the inside version. All right, thank you. Now that answer. Like, I see a bunch of, like, I know you don't, like, we didn't say, hey, join us for happy hour. I mean, we did invite you, but I'm always pleasantly surprised. So thank you. I feel honored.
All right. You ready for
Thank
another
you,
question,
Dee.
John?
Ready, let's go.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to pick someone here. Mr. Michael Ellison, I am coming for you.
Michael Ellison.
Hello,
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. It's great to meet you, John.
Good to meet you too. Where are you from? What do you do?
I live in Toledo, Ohio.
Nice.
I retired in June from teaching theater at a university for 23 years.
Nice.
And I also do transformational body and energy work that I call embodying light.
Do you do at a distance or in person?
Both.
Nice.
So I've had clients in London and Los Angeles and New York, long distance,
Love it.
either over the phone or on Zoom or Skype before Zoom.
Yep.
And in person, sometimes that's hands-on work as well.
Good. I just took a picture of all of you, so hope you don't mind. I love to see all the smiling faces. And your question is?
My question is about the energy work that I do that's been very part-time because I've been so busy teaching, directing, choreographing, those kinds of things. And now I'm really looking to establish that business. When I've done it before, the energy work that I do is it's transformational. And so what has happened a lot is that I would get a client who would come to me when they're really in need and then go, that was amazing. I'll see you again the next time I'm in need. Great example. I just got an email last May from a woman who said, I had a session with you in 1999 and another session in 2005, and they were incredible. Can I come and work with you again? How do I turn that into a system? Is my biggest...
Well, which part are you looking to turn into a system? How you do what you do so you could teach others how to do it, or how do you turn your business into a system that keeps feeding more clients, or both?
Both.
Okay, so since we're all made up of 100 trillion cells, everybody, can you just give me 1 second? I have to take this call. There's somebody. Oh, no, okay, they just hung up. I'm going away on Saturday to altitude to ski, and the doctor's calling me to make sure that I get the pills for altitude sickness. So just in case, my home is at almost 10,000 feet above sea level, and if I don't take these pills, then you get seasick. Well, not seasick, altitude sickness. So if they call again, I'll pick it up. They don't know that I'm on a call with all of you wonderful people, so they're gonna have to be patient. But he's gonna call in a prescription. So the question that I want to ask you, right, is I know that there are energy healers who teach people how to be energy healers. I know that there are intuitive coaches that teach other people how to activate and use their intuition. So I know that there are plenty of people who teach how to be an energy. My mother took, being a Reiki coach or Reiki healer, right? My mother didn't know anything about energy, but in her 60s, she took a Reiki course on becoming an energy, healer. So I know that there are people who do that. And so if you want to create a system to get more clients, then you have to get good at marketing and selling, how phenomenal it is to work with you. If you want to create a separate, revenue stream, then you say, okay, how do I teach what I intuitively know or what I have learned? right? So you come up with teaching modules. So module number 1, for example, might be understanding energy, understanding the different modalities, understanding different, different people, understanding different problems, understanding different parts of the body, understanding the chakras, understanding. So you can come up with your curriculum. And what I would recommend, Michael, if you were on earlier, I did a little demo on ChatGPT-4. Go to ChatGPT-4 and say, pretend you are the world's best energy healer who teaches other people how to energy heal. What would be build me a curriculum or a course that would make it easy to learn energy healing. It'll build it for you. That's how you create a system. And then you add your twist to it. And then guess what you have? You have a course that you can now sell.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's what I would do. I would keep it really simple. Like I said, everyone, I'm not sure if all of you here were on our call earlier, but was the ChatGPT and the Mid-Journey example pretty good at like how you can use some of these tools for instantaneous, results, or not results, but information? Again, we just scratched the surface. And I know that many of you know that part of what we're adding to our coaching program, right, is we are going to teach people how to use the different AI tools that we think can be advantageous to make an extra $25, $50, $100,000, $500,000 a year and make you more efficient, and make you more efficient, right? And we'll show you the tools. We'll practice them together. And so that means we're adding some more coaching program or coaching training to you, and you can join live, or you'll be able to watch the replays or let your team watch it. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, John. Take care and have a great trip.
Thank you. We have a home in Telluride, Colorado. So annually, I go with my 2 sons, and they board and I ski, and I have some friends coming. I usually stay for 2 to 4 weeks for a little ski break and work.
All right. Well, that was what we should call 30-second systems with John, huh? All right. Next up, we are getting Regina on the line. Regina, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
By the way, can I just ask how many of you in here, I don't know how many people are in here, but how many of you are either from today or from the last time we did this, how many of you are part of the Winning Game of Business program now? Just say me. So I just see how many of you are here. Me? Oh, good.
Me.
Me. Me from today.
Signed up today.
Awesome. Awesome, Regina. Regina, tell me what you do.
So I am a business transformation specialist, and what I do is I help overwhelmed women, coaches and consultants move from that overwhelmed state to a state of overjoyed again in their businesses.
Love it. And where do you live?
I live in Salem, New Hampshire, and I have a really quick, easy question for you.
Go.
Dog or cat?
Great question.
I used to have cats and I used to have dogs, and it's interesting.
I was just gonna say I stumped them.
I'm teeter-tottering because I remember my cat, and she was just beautiful, and I remember my dog Caesar, and he was just beautiful. So if I was to get another pet now and I had a choice of a dog or a cat, I'd probably get a dog, because I would have to take her or him out. So it would give me another reason to be outdoors and take that. The reason I would get a cat and not a dog is because I don't want to train another dog and pick up shit, for a long period of time, and a cat could, so like, oh, and because I travel, it wouldn't be fair to a dog. We had a dog and we put her down about 7 years ago. We haven't gotten another dog because we travel so much. So.
Well, I have a dog and a cat, and I'll just say, there's a fine line there, because you have to pick up
that's why
shit. You have to pick up the dog shit in the backyard, but then again, you have to change the litter box.
Well, I get it, but that's why I was like going, because I end up having to take care of any pet we have. So.
All right, that was it.
Great, Regina. I look forward to helping you. Got lots of stuff in the
Monday
in the quiver to help you with. All right, who's next?
All right, John, I don't think I've ever seen you hesitate to answer a question.
Well, it's because I love cats, I love dogs, and it's like there's benefits to both, right?
Yeah. Exactly. That's
Like,
fair.
there's nothing better than when you're caressing a cat and it's purring. Yeah, I recently, at the end of last year, I was doing a spiritual journey with some medicines, specifically ayahuasca. And I was in my journey and I heard, meow, 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 and I thought it was part of my journey. And then all of a sudden in my right ear, I heard, and I opened my eyes and it was actually a cat, like right there. I was laying on the floor. I was like, oh my God, there's a real cat in here. And I love that sound of the purring because they're very, very cautious. And if they're purring, that means they're in resonance with you, right? They're like safe and comfortable and they're not like, all scared. And this cat was just, and I love that. So there we go. There's some more inside information. I have done a lot of spiritual journeys doing medicines too, for anybody that wants to go there.
All right. And all the hands just shot up. No, I'm kidding.
Here we go. Let's light the room up.
All right. Let's get.
You're a psychedelic sitter. I love it, Tanya.
All right. Erin McGurk, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hi, John.
Hi, Erin.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. How are you?
Good. I'm a NeuroGym member, just to answer your question earlier. Yeah.
You look
And-
familiar, I know.
Yeah, I signed up with the first big business breakthrough and then did NeuroGym and then hopped on for the VIP second time.
Love it.
Yeah. So good to be here. I'm definitely working on being successful in all areas of my life because sometimes I just focus on one thing and then the other things are just sort of like non-existent because I'm like not putting any focus or attention into them. So I feel like I'm gonna have to like bring more of myself into the or more God, maybe less me. Actually, it's probably going to have to go the other way around, to be honest with you. But I did want to.
What do you do, by the
mention-
way? What are you
Oh.
doing, by the way? Carolyn, can we spotlight somebody as they're asking the question, please?
She is spotlighted.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing her as a little box on my screen for some reason, but let me just, oh, there you are. Sorry, I got two screens here. I'm using only one computer. What do you do again, please?
So I work in sales and I do, actually after I did your business breakthrough, I went into tech, into sales, and I started earning six figures and I increased my income by like, well, a lot, like more than 50%.
Good. Well,
Yeah.
first, congratulations and high fives to you.
Yeah, and you helped me with that. So I want to give you credit because I know you have new people on here. So I did feel a lot of value from that. And you had said you maybe need to get another career if you're not making the right money. And I was like, you're right. I did sales, but I had to jump into another industry where I could make more money in sales than the current industry that I was in. So I made some big changes and I do attribute that to business breakthrough. And I have a fashion business, which I had emailed you about because during Business Breakthrough, you featured a girl who, this is so funny. I thought it was such a sign because her name is like Erin Max something. She's probably from like Scotland or something.
Erin McGarity, she's actually in the United States. She's a jeweler.
Okay. So I just thought that was hilarious because I also have a jewelry business and my name's Erin McGurk. So we have like almost the same name and we
Wow.
both do jewelry. And I thought that was hilarious. And I also thought it was a sign because she said she made $50,000 a day and went to 100K plus a year
She went to
after working.
100,000 in a month, the most, and then she made $50,000 in a day. She was making about $50,000 a month on average, and she went to $100,000 a month, and then she made $50,000 in one day, which showed her what's possible.
Yeah. So that was so inspiring for me to hear that as a possibility because I've done so much of the building and the structure that I need help with systems as far as running a company. However, also like increasing those high margins of sales and making those big sales. So my question was, how did she do it? And yeah,
Great.
what did she do?
A couple of things. Number one is we identified who her exact ideal client profile was, because she had very, very unique jewelry. It wasn't jewelry that, you know, every woman would buy or that a husband would buy for his wife or a partner would buy for their partner. It wasn't like your normal jewelry. So she had very, very unique jewelry. So we identified that first. So she would stop selling to everybody because that's what she was trying to do. We narrowed down who she was selling to, and then we asked ourselves a couple of questions. Number one, why did these women really want to buy her jewelry? And she initially said because it was unique, one of a kind. It was because when they went out, she sold to a lot of affluent women who can afford what they wanted, but didn't want to buy the same thing as their friends could get. So she targeted unique jewelry that's as unique as you are. Boom. That she sold to people who went to a lot of events, and that, you know, everybody looked at what are you wearing, what, you know, what's your jewelry, and kind of like, where did you get that? And it was one of a kind, so you couldn't get it. So she catered to that specific woman, and then all the marketing went to find her more of those.
Okay.
So sometimes you'll say, let me go wide. And we said, let's go narrow. By the way, everyone, this is going to be counterintuitive to some of you. This is uncommon wisdom. The narrower you go, the easier it is to find that person.
So what are you guys thinking about the happy hour so far? It's fun, right? I will say, this is one of the coolest things. I'll get myself up on camera too, so that you guys can see me, and Erin, I'll leave you on there as well. Hang on one second. I'll just add myself. Yeah, it's super fun, right? I'm reading your responses. They are always great. And it's so cool because I'm definitely part of this field, and being able to see John in this way. I've never been part of a program that lets you ask personal questions. I just feel like it's such a cool opportunity to bring the community so much closer. So I'm really glad you all showed up tonight.
Yeah, me too. Did that answer your question of how we did it?
You said identify the client, unique jewelry. Why does this woman want to buy jewelry, unique jewelry, as unique as
who is your target audience? You have to start with your target avatar, and then you have to create messages specifically for him or her or them. And by the way, the other thing she started doing jewelry parties at local spas. Inviting those women, okay, to the spa. That was the other strategy where she went to high-end spas, did little jewelry parties where they invite people to wine and cheese. And she got a lot of the spa's clients and gave everybody a discount that was part of the spa to buy the jewelry. That was one of the other ideas.
Did she do events or online sales?
No, events. She did events, but then she started doing online stuff too. But she did events in the local marketplace. She had a physical store, but here's the thinking, right? Here's my ideal client. Who else is selling to her or him or them? And how can I collaborate with them to offer value to them, and they offer value to me? A lot of fashion designers do it with jewelry. A lot of jewelers do it with fashion designers. A lot of high-end restaurants do it with art. So you need to figure out. The first question is always, who's my one avatar? Who's my second avatar? Who's my third avatar? Where are they? Who has access to them? What can I do? All right, to create something unique and different with what you do, jewelry, art. My wife has a friend, Julie LeBron, used to be the head fashion designer for Prada, head fashion designer for right underneath Marc Jacobs, whatever his brand was. And she did trunk shows. She was just here staying at our house in San Diego, doing trunk shows here in San Diego. She flew in from Paris to do trunk shows, and all the high fashion women here invited all their other high fashion friends. She walked out of town with $250,000 in one day.
Amazing. I love that.
She did it in LA, then she did it in Montecito, then she just did it in London because we just had dinner with her. She actually came to see us in Spain in February with her husband and son. So she does trunk shows, high end, like custom couture.
Okay, that's all really good stuff. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Great question. Nice to see you again. Welcome back.
Hey, this is John, and if you liked that video, watch the next video because it is packed with things that you can do right now to achieve success way faster than ever before.